Hello YouTube. In today's video we're going to talk about one of my original characters who is named Claire, because since we've been stuck in this quarantine for me, which I think is about almost a month, well, at least from what I know from everyone else is talking about, it's almost been a month since I've been in quarantine. I wanted to start talking about my original characters, so hopefully I will start working on at least a comic. My goal for 2020 has to been starting a comic and uploading it almost monthly, but of course I'm just really lazy, and my cop out to say, oh, I've been in school, I don't have the time for it. But now look at me at home. School's almost an hour or two for me. I have all this time to do whatever I want, and yet I still find myself being lazy. So I thought about, if I were to talk about my original characters and if I were to talk about the stories that I have, maybe it will force me to start working on it, because every time I talk about it, I get more energy to be like, I need to put this on paper and I need to start this. So that's why in today's video, we're going to talk about one of my favorite OCs that I haven't really drawn out lately, Claire, because I really like her character and I kind of like where I imagine her story arc to go through. So yeah, I'm just going to explain when I created her, why did I create her, and I guess some few things about her. So my character's name is Claire. Her full name is Claire Marie Delmont. Well, Delmont, Delmontier, I'm still kind of working out the pronunciation of their last name. She has a twin brother whose name is Choplin or Choplin. Again, I'm really bad at like creating the way you're supposed to say a character's name, but I guess that kind of like falls into like the person who reads it decides how it's pronounced. So yeah, yeah, she has a twin brother. His name is Choplin. They get their names basically off of composers and from songs. Like Claire, she got her name because I listened to the song Claire de Lune, and every time I drew Claire, I would give her a dangling earring that has the moon on it. And for Choplin, I gave him the sun because, like, you know, sun and moon. And that's where she got her name, all Claire de Lune. Claire, there you go. Fun facts about Claire: she has a girlfriend because she's gay. She also dyed her hair when she was really young, and the only way for her to have the dyed hair is if her brother were to dye his hair as well, which is why when I redraw Choplin, you will see that he has a blue streak in his hair. That's only because his sister made him do it so she could have her wildly dyed hair. The Delmont family is of Mexican American origin, and I like that because I get to, I guess, write in different languages in my comic. I kind of want to focus on different home lifestyles of the characters in this one, and no better way for me to flex on my family that I'm learning Spanish and kind of know some of what I'm doing by writing Latin American characters. The last fun fact that I have about this character is that she is in a punk rock band with her girlfriend, which I guess it really doesn't kind of fall too much into the story that I'm writing, which I'm going to get into talk about that in a little bit, about the story. But she's in a punk rock band, and that kind of explains her, the way that she dresses. Like, there's this little gold band that I draw on her. I don't know why I decided to draw a gold band on her, but I guess it would make more sense for her to have it if she's like in a punk rock band. Now that I have all the fun facts that I have written down so far, let's talk about the story that she's in. The bad thing is about when I talk about this story is I do not know what the title of the story will be. All I know is that it's centered around high schoolers in a very diverse community, and that's about it. I think when I first began imagining this story, it's kind of very almost Disney centric. Like, you know how all Disney high school stories, like, oh, there's this bad boy, and then there's this like girl who's like, who knows everything about the bad boy. Then there's this new girl that moves in and she wants to be with the bad boy. But yeah, that's where I kind of started with my imagining of this comic. But over the years, I think it has evolved into something else where the bad boy isn't really a bad boy. I don't know. I'll explain it. So, here, right here, she's the friend of the AKA bad boy. I'm going to stay with those stereotypes because it makes it easier. But she's also a very, I guess you would call her also like a bad boy type of person, because when you look at her, she's very intimidating. She's a very tall character for a female, and the way that she kind of hangs around by herself, she doesn't really like talking to many other people, and what makes her seem very unapproachable, and is why many people don't. So there's this new girl who comes into town. She moves to this high school because her parents got jobs nearby and they couldn't live where they used to want to live. So she moves in. She goes to the school, and the first thing she does is talk to the very unapproachable character that is Claire. And of course, first Claire is confused by this, and a lot of other people are confused by it. But over time, like Claire brings down her walls and she starts talking with this girl and hangs out with her a lot. Basically, she helps this girl navigate the halls of school and navigate where she has to go for classes, and tells her about the different groups of people there. Kind of almost like a Mean Girl setting. Wow, I'm kind of realizing my story is a little bit a part of those high school stereotypes, but I promise I'll try my best not to write it that way. So yeah, she helps this girl, and then like she talks about her friend, which is like the bad boy character who skips classes, but does really good for some reason. Like he's never in class, but like he has straight A's because he goes to the tests and passes them. And this causes character who moved in to fall head over heels for him, and she becomes like a sidekick character for both sides, like almost the middle ground or the middleman, even though she herself doesn't really bring much of a plot to the story, or doesn't really care much for the story that is going on, because she's doing her own thing and she's worrying about her own family. And not to give too much spoilers for my own headcanon of a story, that's all I really want to talk about when it comes to my comic and this character. I will elaborate more on the story of Claire's family when I talk about Chopin, because I feel like when I talk about him, because his story is set in the future, it makes it easier for me to talk about what their family dynamic is and why Claire is the way that she is. So yeah, if you like me rambling on for 10 minutes about my characters, like this video and I will talk about my other character, and we can talk more about what I have for story plans. So to end the rambliness of this video, let's talk about some of the design choices that I make that probably don't make sense. Now, I imagine for Claire to obviously be a high school girl. As you see, she has a lot of piercings. I don't know what the piercings are called. I just thought they were cool when I first started drawing her, and they've been stuck on her character ever since. I'm not sure if as a high schooler, maybe like a senior / junior, maybe junior, could have all these piercings, but at the same time, dress codes. That probably means if I were to make this as realistic as possible, she'd have to go to a school that doesn't care too much about dress codes. I don't know. That's gonna be like the one thing that's probably gonna make my story not fall into like realism. So yeah, I guess that the piercings would make her a high school senior. The second design choice, I still to this day do not know why I started drawing that gold band on her. It makes 0 sense, but it looks cool, I guess. And that's really about it about design choices. Like, I love the earring. The earring has to stay in like all iterations of me drawing her. Like, the earrings are always there. But like the piercings is the one thing that kind of makes it hard for this comic to stay realistic. As I said before, it makes it hard to ground it in the real world. And if I were to have like cosplayers, as if I ever got my story out of my mind and into books, it would just probably look weird to be like, oh, I'm a high schooler and I have piercings. Yeah, I still don't know how the story dynamics of that work. Maybe that's a whole chapter on its own on how she got her piercings. I don't know. We'll have to see in the future. And now that I've run out of every single other topic that I have about this character so far, I guess I could talk about my art process. As you see here, I am using my Ohuhu markers that I got for Christmas. And this is basically the whole beginning of this video ever happening was because I finished my second marker sketchbook. Yes, this really is my second one because all my other so-called marker sketchbooks will always have like some other type of artwork in there. Like it will have colored pencils and it'd be kind of hard for me to call it a marker sketchbook. So yes, this is my second marker sketchbook, but is not my second sketchbook ever, if that makes sense. In the end of me making this entire rambly video, I do like how the artwork I had to represent Claire turned out. As you saw before, all the way at the beginning of the video, I sketched out the sketch with a color erase pencil. And I do that first because I like the way it shows underneath the marker. And I lined the piece last because the Ohuhu markers and any marker that I have used so far in my life likes to spread over my line art, which means I have to do a second line art and I don't like doing that. So I just wait till I'm done with the coloring and I just go back and fill everything in. And also I can easily cover up any other mistakes I had while drawing up. And here right now you can see as I'm making a background out of shapes because I still do not know how to make backgrounds, and I felt too lazy picking up my pencil again and sketching out a background that makes sense. So yeah, thank you for watching this video of me rambling about a character and about a story that probably makes 100% no sense at all. If you like these type of videos, which I'm probably going to keep making these videos anyway because as I said before, I feel like if I talk about my characters, that means I'll be able to make comics. And eventually, the more that I talk about these characters and the more I talk about the creative processes behind them, the easier it will be for me to make these videos and the less rambly they're going to be. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please like it. And if you like to see for me make more weird content, you can always follow my TikTok, which is hopefully now linked in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys had a lovely day and stay safe. Wash your hands. See y'all in the next video.